I picked up my granddaughter from school the other afternoon. She slid into the passenger seat and stared straight ahead, quiet in a way that felt heavier than sadness. Not upset, not angry, just dim, like a room with the lights left on but no one inside. She's 15 now. I asked how her day went. She shrugged. I asked if something had happened. She shook her head. Then, after a long pause, she asked me something I haven't stopped thinking about since. She said, "Grandpa, does anything we do actually matter?" My name is George. I'm 87 years old. I've lived through wars, economic crashes, personal losses, and mistakes I still think about at night. That question didn't shock me because it was new. It shocked me because I've asked myself the same thing for most of my life. The difference is this: she's just starting out, looking forward. I'm near the end, looking back. And somewhere between those two viewpoints, I finally see the answer more clearly. We live in a time where everyone is chasing significance. People want to be noticed, remembered, admired. They want proof that they mattered. I see it in careers people don't enjoy, in the constant need to be seen online, in the way we measure ourselves by numbers and attention. I understand the urge, but after nearly 9 decades, I've learned this: the moments that truly matter almost never feel important when they're happening. There was a woman who lived a few houses down from us named Margaret. She was a school teacher, never married, no children. She taught the same grade at the same school for over 40 years. When she retired, a small group gathered in the gym. A plaque, a bouquet, polite applause, nothing memorable. 2 years later, she passed away quietly. At her funeral, I expected a small turnout. Instead, the church was overflowing. People stood one by one to speak. A surgeon who said she was the first adult who made him believe he was capable. A community organizer who said Margaret taught her to read when everyone else gave up. A middle-aged man who brought his daughter and said he chose teaching because of her. Story after story, all because of someone who believed she was just doing her job. She never tried to be extraordinary. She simply paid attention. We've misunderstood what it means to matter. We think it means being known by many, but life isn't built that way. It's built in small exchanges between people, in moments of attention, in kindness offered without an audience. These moments don't feel dramatic. They feel ordinary, which is why we overlook them. When I was nearing 40, I was struggling. My business was failing. Money was tight. I was tired, discouraged, and drinking more than I should have. One night, I sat in my car outside a bar, deciding whether to go in. A man I barely knew knocked on my window. He said he was getting coffee and asked if I wanted to join. No speech, no concern, just coffee. We sat in a diner for hours talking about nothing important: his kids, a book, an old trip. Somehow, in that ordinary conversation, something steadied me. I didn't go into the bar. I went home. I don't remember everything he said, but that moment mattered, and I doubt he ever realized it. That's how mattering works. It's quiet. It doesn't announce itself. You won't be told that something you did made a difference. Often, you'll never know. Something small to you can be life-altering to someone else. My wife used to write letters, real ones, to our children, to old friends, to people she hadn't seen in years. I used to tease her about it. After she passed, I found boxes of replies. Nearly every letter mentioned how much her words meant, how people kept them, reread them, found comfort in them. She never tried to matter. She simply reached out. Here's what I wish I'd known sooner. Your life doesn't need to stand out to matter. In fact, most meaningful lives don't. The pressure to be exceptional crushes people. It convinces them that an ordinary life isn't enough. But the world is held together by people doing quiet, unremarkable things with care. Parents who show up exhausted, workers who do their jobs honestly, friends who check in, volunteers who serve, clean, listen.
People who return carts, keep promises, and notice when someone is hurting. These acts won't earn applause, but without them, everything falls apart. If you want to know whether you matter, look at the people closest to you. Are you present? Are you patient? Are you kind when it's inconvenient? Do you listen more than you speak? These choices won't make you famous, but they decide whether your life meant something. I've thought a lot about my granddaughter's question, and I think the mistake is asking it the wrong way. We ask whether we matter in some grand sense, but mattering isn't grand. It's personal. It's whether your presence changes a moment for someone else. When my grandson was young, he was afraid of water. Every day for weeks, I stood beside him at the edge of the pool. No pressure, no lectures, just presence. By the end of the summer, he swam. He doesn't remember those days, but I do, because that's what mattering looks like. The older I get, the more I see how temporary status is. Achievements fade, titles disappear, but people remember how you made them feel. They remember that you noticed them, that you stayed, that you cared. Last week at the grocery store, the cashier looked exhausted. I asked how she was doing. Really asked. She told me about working double shifts while caring for her sick mother. We spoke for a few minutes. I told her she was doing something meaningful. She thanked me twice. That conversation won't change the world, but it mattered to her in that moment. So here's my answer. Yes, what you do matters, just not in the ways you've been taught to measure. It matters in patience, in honesty, in showing up when no one is watching, in choosing kindness when it would be easier not to. Your life doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to be genuine, present, human. That kind of significance doesn't live in spotlights. It lives in steady, quiet attention. I don't have many years left, and when I think about what mattered, it isn't recognition. It's the people I loved well, the moments I didn't rush through, the times I listened instead of speaking. Those things last. If this resonates, share it with someone who needs it. Leave a comment about one small thing you'll pay more attention to. And if you'd like to hear more from someone who's lived long enough to see what really lasts, I'd be glad to keep talking.